Welcome to the Linux download and installation video. We're going to install CentOS 7 onto a virtual machine hosted on VirtualBox that we installed last video. We're choosing CentOS 7 over CentOS 8 because there's some controversy around support of CentOS 8 moving forward, so I think CentOS 7 is the safe bet for now. Basically, you want to follow this video, go to the CentOS website and make sure you download the DVD ISO. I previously downloaded the file, so we would be ready to go. It will take you some time. So creating a new virtual machine, and the name is just something friendly. Pulsar Training is just a friendly name that helps remind me that this VM is for the Pulsar Training. I chose 2,048 gigabytes of RAM. If you can go with more, that's useful. 2 gigs of RAM isn't very much, but I am running on a laptop. So this is a 15 gigabyte disk. Dynamic disks are great because it doesn't reserve the disk on your hard drive until it uses it. Now we're gonna see we have 2 gigs of RAM still in the settings. We're gonna change CPUs to 2 just to give a little bit more resources to the VM. Network adapter, changing that to bridged makes it a little bit easier later on when we're working on network connectivity. In storage, this is where we select the CentOS 7 ISO. Basically, the ISO is a CD file, and we're loading that CD file into the virtual CD tray for the VM. All right, so this is the first time we're turning it on. It's asking for the startup disk. I'm choosing that CentOS 7. You can also press the little folder icon to the right to navigate to the file if you don't see it. Now, when you left click on the virtual machine, it will capture your mouse. So keep that in mind. The right control button will release the mouse capture. You can see that on the bottom right of the VM. So it has like a little arrow pointing down and it says right control. That's the button you press to release your mouse if you want to start using it outside of the VM. All right, the installer is still starting up. Okay. I obviously speak English, and as you might have guessed, I live in the United States by my accent, so we're going to go with that. For the installation destination, we're going to select the disk we already created, and we're going to change the networking to be on. This just makes our life easier later on. We don't have to turn it on because it'll already be on. We want to install the GNOME desktop because having a desktop GUI to work with just makes our lives easier, and a few other extra add-ons that I found you might need at some point. So it's useful to just have them pre-installed. All right, so we're going to change the time zone. I'm in the West Coast, so we'll go ahead and change that to West Coast. Okay, we're all set to begin our installation. The installation is starting right now while we were filling this out. So I'll put in the root password. That's sort of like the admin password. For the root user, it can do anything. The just regular user, I'll call them Pulsar training will be the name. The actual username is that second field. You might want to click make this user administrator if you want, but you don't have to select it because we'll be creating a unique user account for Pulsar later on. Putting in a strong password here. And we're going to be all set for Linux to continue installing. All right, so we're going to skip over the installation, and we're done. So that probably took 10 to 20 minutes for you, but just fast forward it for the sake of time. This is what CentOS Linux looks like when it's booting up. You don't have to press anything right now. Everything will just come up on its own. Then Linux is going to ask us a few things. This is for the first time only. So we'll accept the license. And later on, after we log in, it'll ask us a few more things. This is that ptraining user. Put my password. Okay. So just click next. I'm turning location services off, but you don't. It's up to you. All right, you just installed Linux. Congratulations. To power off, you'll need to insert or type in the administrator password.